Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Bose. We have our Week 3 matchup in the PWC against my good buddy Dave and the Minnesota Victinis. Like I said, he does have a YouTube channel as well. It will be down. The link will be down in the description below. So yeah, let's just get right into this game. This game I wasn't sure much on. It could have gone either way. I could have had a very good matchup, and then depending upon what he brought, some things just completely stopped what I was trying to do, which was having a late game sweep, or at least having late game my scarfed Sneasel to come in and just kind of run through his team at that point. It is Adamant scarfed because at Adamant I still outspeed everything on his team, so which is good because then I can pretty much one shot. I one shot the Lando at -1. I one shot Victini. If the UC was brought, I one shot that. So yeah, it was one of my, it had a pretty good matchup minus a couple things on his team, mainly that Mega Scizor and the Blastoise. Now we also have a specially defensive leftovers Milk Tank. I was 95% sure he was going to bring Special Victini this time because we have played 2 or 3 times already, and he's had Victini on those games, and he always ran physical. And when I had Milk Tank, it did wall him completely. He couldn't really do anything to it, so I was 90% sure he was special at this point. I didn't know if it was going to be Scarfed or Expert Belt, but I could easily handle it, especially with I have a max HP, modest max special attack, Assault Vest Victini. If it is Expert Belt, a Thunder does about 40% to this, which is great because then I can do about 75%. I can hinder it completely useless, especially with Stealth Rocks up. If this thing comes in and I can get that Manaphy, and it basically walls it at that point because it can't hit me at all. We also have a Citrus Sub Home Claws Halucha, which does put in a lot of work as well. We have a Mixed Nido with max speed with ice. I wasn't sure about bringing this thing, to be honest. It was kind of iffy. The only reason I did bring it was because it had, if he did bring Scissor, which he did, I didn't have a really good check to it, or not check to it, a really good way to take it out. So I needed Flamethrower, plus if he did bring Florges, which he has the ability to, if I didn't bring it, and I didn't bring my Extra Drill, I would have no way of taking care of it, but I didn't think he was going to bring it, but I just couldn't take that risk. And we also have a Bandit Almaldo here. I really thought he was bringing the UC, and a Bandit Almaldo easily one-shots it if it has any sort of damage on it. I think it does 98% or something. So yeah, that was my team this week. I really expected him to lead off with 15. He generally did that against me, either that or the Lando. So I did want to lead off with my Manaphy, which he read off with this. I was like, oh shit, okay, I can't take much damage on this thing. I'm just going to switch out, bring in Milk Tank. It can eat it up at all. He does switch out, though, luckily, into his Dusclops. So I was just like, okay, I'm just going to get up my Stealth Rocks at this point because I don't think there's really anything he can do to me. So yeah, he brings in Lando. I'm just going to buy Slam and kind of hope I get a... Okay, here, actually, that's right. I needed to buy Slam at that point. I needed to see what kind of Lando this was. I didn't know if it was Scarfed, offensive. I can tell Rocky Helmet defensive. Okay, so I know what I'm dealing with at this point, and I knew I could eat up any hit. He's just going to get his rocks up, which is fine with me. I'm just going to switch out into my Armaldo, expecting some sort of Earthquake something, and yeah, he knocks off my Choice Band. I was speaking with EQ, and I brought a very, very, very useless Armaldo this week. I really shouldn't have brought it, especially that set. I was max attack, but he still took me out. Like I said, the prep this week wasn't the best. I didn't feel good about Nido, but I needed to bring it. Armaldo did okay when I was testing it out and doing calcs and everything, but it's just this matchup. That was mainly for a team that I think was running Victini, Lando, but like it also had Yuxi. It had Umbreon. Trying to think of a couple of months I would test. I really thought he was going to bring. He didn't. The Blastoise did okay against, but I did not expect Dusclops. I did not expect the Mega Scizor either, so it just kind of messed with me. But yeah, at this point, I'm just going to go to Manaphy. I know I get a free Scald off. And he brings in his Duskmars, sees Dusclops, sorry, and sees that I'm AV. And yeah, I'm okay with that because he still can't do anything to me. with that Victini. So I'm just going to U-turn out into my Nido because I knew he was going to Will-O-Wisp, and there was nothing I couldn't let the other things get Will-O-Wisp. So this thing, alright, because I am running special. I'm going to Flamethrower here just in case he expects me to go for like a Poison Jab, brings in the Mega Scizor, which he did not, sadly. But yeah, this thing is just going to give me a lot of troubles. The only thing I really have for that Umbreon is my Hawlucha. Past that, I really don't have any good checks to it. But yeah, I'm just going to switch into Miltank. And I'm just going to Body Slam after he wishes. Because if he does stay in, I'll try to, like I said, he brings in Lando T. I get the Para, which is cool. That was my only way of actually satisfying it. But yeah, as we said. So I'm playing Hawlucha or expecting an Earthquake. He does get parried. Sorry. Especially when I set this up and he gets parried again. At this point, I am feeling, I'm sorry, that's kind of shitty luck, but I'm going to start setting up at this point. He's going to U-turn. Crit doesn't even break it, so you know he's not offensive at all. I'm just going to continue to set up Hone Claws, as many as I can until I get my Impertinent Boost. That's what my game plan. Get up 1 or 2 Hone Claws, get some subs up just so I can break down, get that Impertinent Boost, and outspeed everything on the scene. I put enough speed in there to make sure I'd sped everything normally, so I was good. And at this point, I'm just going to start acrobatics and high jump kicking everything. So Hawlucha gets 1 kill here. He brings in Victini, this is why, if you watch the YouTube video, I'll explain too. He forgot that I ate my citrus berry, and he forgot about Unburden. When he brought this thing in, I was really expecting either the Blastoise or the Lando at this point. So he doesn't though, he forgets that I outspeed him at this point, and acrobatics does 1 shot. And then he brings in his Scizor. Mega Evolves. I'm just going to high jump kick at this point. +2, 1 shots it. Unless it's straight up 100% defensive. It didn't really matter at that point. But as you see, here's what sucks. I am at 12%. I cannot live coming into rocks again. And I have no way at this point to take out the Umbreon, which is going to suck. I'm just going, I realized this, and it was just one of those things that Bullet Punch did just enough damage to screw it over. I'm just going to high jump kick, I think, or acrobatics, and hope I get a crit at that point to take this thing out, but with Rocky Helmet, it doesn't really matter. So at this point, I'm looking at my team, I'm just thinking, crap, I am not going to be able to break through that Umbreon very well, because I needed that Hawlucha there. I'm just going to go out into Nido, fire it off an Ice Beam, and hope it actually works. At this point, I'm just going to fire off some damage, just trying to get as much damage. I know I'm burned, but a Flamethrower and Ice Beam are going to do less than my burn Poison Jab's going to. Because I was running max attack. So he takes me out with the Scald, and I'm not happy right now. I'm kind of upset. I'm just going to Sneasel. I'm just going to knock off. He stays in, it knocks it out. Cool. I expect him to go out into the Umbreon. He does 17%. The leftovers are off, so that's cool. But at this point, I'm going to just speed it up because it gets very solid here at this point. This turns into a... I'm going to T-Wave it. He T-Waves him back. Synchronize. I knew that, but I just wanted to maybe get some Para Hacks, as you can see there. But it just turns into a Wish Stall / Heal Belling. And that's what it comes down to. It's going to be a lot of this. I forget what turn it actually stops, but it's very solid at this point, and there's nothing I can do because there's no way for me, once that Hawlucha goes down, to really do really good damage to this thing. It does have Brick Break on my Sneasel, but it does like 30%. So all he has to do is continue to wish and then protect, wish, protect, and then he goes down to his Blastoise here, which would have been cool. I did not get I got parried on that one, whatever. Because I could have not one-shot it, but it would have been okay. But at this point, I said, I'm just trying to do whatever I can to try to get damage off on this thing. And 20% is not doing nearly enough. Because all he's doing is just going to wish, protect. When I status him, he's going to heal Bell and then wish. And protect again. And I'm just like, please, just run out of wishes and he's just going to keep switching in. At this point, a guy lucky, hey, I made a bold double there, but he does stay, and he's just going to go right back out into his Manaphy. Or my Manaphy, he's going to go right down to his Umbreon, and then Wish, Protect again, and it just turns in. He basically just saws me out at this point, because I cannot touch this thing, which is why I did not want to bring Nido. At least the Bandit Armaldo could have done a lot of damage to this thing with a X-Scissor, and I got the unlucky burn there because it's synchronized, which really allows him to stall me out. I mean, yeah, there's nothing really I can say here at this point. This is what it turns into. It's just me trying to attack and trying to do damage off on this thing, and him just regaining health with Wish. And yeah, as you'll see, there's not much more I can say. I could not break through this thing. I'm at this point in my man, I can at least do a little bit. I can late game maybe if it's a 1v1 and we both die or something, and it's Lando versus Manaphy. I can win that matchup, but I really knew I couldn't do much. Miltank's at full health, but I can't do anything to it. I just think there's a lot of pairs, burns, and everything's going on here. So it was almost 30 turns of stall at that point. At this point, he's just going to take out my, excuse me, just going to take out my Lando, switch right back out into Umbreon, because I can't do anything to it. I mean, I can break it, which is my only option at this point, is to, hey, look, I two-shot it, but he has Wish Protect. So I'm just going to have to continuously fire off until he runs out of wishes. Excuse me, sorry about that. So at this point, this is what it does go down. He does foul play me. Cool. I can finally break through this thing about 35, 40 turns later. It's at this point, it took out 2 mons, brought one down to about 12%, and yeah, my Sneasel. So at this point, there's, through that, I can still win here. Manaphy is basically fodder at this point. I'm going to switch out here. Because at that point, an Icicle Crash, an Icicle Crash OHKOs it at full health, even at -1. So I'm like, okay, the only thing I need, I expect him to switch out into that Blastoise as soon as I come back in here. All I need is to get 1 flinch. I need 3 hits, 3 shots. I need 1 flinch, and I win. That's what it comes down to. So cool. All right, I live on 1 HP. I literally have like 1 HP. Switches out. Thank you. That's what I needed. And I miss. And at that point, I was screwed royally, and I couldn't do anything. I get the flinch on the second one. And then if that first one would have hit, I would have won. But now, it was really kind of a shitty match for me. Once the Hulucha went down, I knew I was screwed. I could not break through that Umbreon. That's basically what it comes down to. I couldn't do anything to it. Good game, Dave. Like I said, his link to his YouTube channel is down below. And yeah, so there will be some changes made to this team. You'll see I have at least one already. There's a couple moves I'm going to make. I need to get this team right, and right now it's just not that great. So yeah, that was our week 3 matchup. Good game, Dave, and see you next week.